So now we got this SL500 2003. I just finished with valve block in the back, the rear valve block. Block is done, it's replaced, it's going up and down. It was, at least. And when I finished torquing wheels and everything, now it doesn't start again. So put on the key, turn the ignition, and there's nothing. Nope. The car is in park, it registers park. There are no messages on the dash. Ignition comes on, gauges activate. Now, we did have a connection that was kind of rusty on main ECU. I'm going to probably revisit that, but before I do that, because I cleaned the connections, I put the ECU back in, the car started, it ran. Actually, as a matter of fact, if you look at temperature, our temperature is around 60, and that's just because the car ran. Now it doesn't. So I'll look up into codes and see what happens. Now we're going to look up this starter relay, see if it clicks when I turn on the ignition, so when I try to start the car. Okay, so we saw relay activation and we had no starter engagement. So what we're gonna do next is, let me show you real quick. Ignition is on. And we're checking the power here on the relay. We do have power. It's well, the battery is a little weak right now, but the point here is that if I were just to push this relay with my finger, it's supposed to engage starter. It's not happening. So see, it's nothing. It just, there's absolutely zero engagement, absolutely no click or anything. So now I have to check up on the starter. So I'm gonna go under there and take a look what's happening there. If any terminals, if any wires are bad or anything. So I'm gonna have to check it out. Drive authorization is fine. Key recognition is fine. Engine start enable, yes. So we clearly see here it's just seems to be that the starter is faulty. Maybe the wire to the starter is faulty, but I have to jump the starter right at the starter itself just to see if all is good. Maybe there's loose connection on, I don't know, we'll see. So the problem was indeed the starter connection. Actually, it wasn't the starter itself. Starter spins pretty well, but I moved these wires around, the car started. So I took these nuts off. This was the nut that connected the cable to the Bendix, and this one is you know, it's in front of this. It's in front of this nut. So basically, they're both like messed up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this all up. I'm gonna try to get up there on the Bendix connection itself too, and clean some threads. Then polish all of this up, clean the connecting point, and then put a little bit of grease over it, and then screw it all back in, and it should be fine. Okay, so now when I took care of the terminal on starter Bendix, then the car starts right up. Just reset the suspension. Okay, so yeah. Oh yeah, I had to disconnect the battery, so I have to reset our steering angle sensor. This is gonna be another thing that I'm gonna be dealing with. The SRS light is on for obvious reasons, because the knee airbag is off, but there is also an issue with driver's airbag. So for that reason, I already ordered the clock spring. I'm gonna replace that. I mean, even if it's not the clock spring, for example, if it's the airbag itself, but at least I have the clock spring. It's a used piece, but it's not expensive, so might as well to have it in my hand versus not to have it and wait. And this is our coupler. It's the one that I fixed, but I found a brand new one, so I might as well replace it with the brand new one because I still have all of this area open. So it makes more sense to install original right now versus later on if my repair fails or whatnot. I would rather have original and installed. And yeah, that's about it for now. The airbag, this, the coupler, I'm gonna reassemble the whole interior. So the problem here with no start condition was that terminal. Indeed, because I did check with all the codes, drive authorization, the key, all of that is fine. When I clean the connections on the engine control module, I don't have no more annoying message saying that the car is not in park, which is another good thing. And waiting for our pistons, the piston, one piston here for the roof. That is going to be replaced later on when I get it back later in the week. Alright, this is all for now. Victor here, RestoreYourMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.